First of all, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth and sincerity, and shout out to Akim that's out there on the four quarters of the earth pushing this truth, risking your lives to do so in a place where, you could be called a cyber bully if you actually expose the truth, when you call bullshit, and when you, call out their fake news, even though they'll call what we're doing, exposing the lies, fake news. So anyways, Benjamin, not a Jew, calls Erdogan a butcher in War of Worlds over Gaza violence. That's very interesting because they claim to be the Ashkenazi Jews, and Gomer, which is Turkey, is the father of Ashkenaz, right? But you see, that doesn't make any sense because of the fact that Amalek is who actually is the so-called Ashkenazi Jews, right? Which we know that Benjamin, not a Jew. Insults and veiled threats have been exchanged between Erdogan and Benjamin, not a Jew. The Israeli Prime Minister branded the Turkish leader a butcher after Erdogan called him a terrorist over the IDF's use of force in Gaza. Well, that's kind of funny because the Israeli state, IS, has been hiring terrorists to, fund their war against Syria. So let's look at another article here. Gold glitters as dollar declines. U.S.-China trade war escalates. So gold is coming up. The price of the traditional safe haven gold increased on Monday after Beijing introduced retaliatory measures against the American goods coming to China. After failing in the past 3 trading sessions, the yellow metal surged over $8 per troy ounce to 1,335. The trade war is going on and it's getting worse. So that might be the reason the people are selling dollars and buying gold, said Yuki Ikazu at ICBC Standard Bank in Tokyo, as quoted by Reuters. So, gold's going up. So you know that the prophecy is that, they will eventually be throwing away their gold and silver. That'll be no good anymore because we know that the mark of the beast is coming right around the corner over this stuff. Critical lash out as Malaysia outlaws fake news. So in other words, anything that doesn't go with what they say is considered fake news, right? Malaysia has officially made fake news illegal after approving a law that makes anyone found guilty of the crime liable for a hefty fine and a 6-year spell in prison. I remember there was truthers out there in Turkey that had also exposed, the fact that Turkey was stealing oil from Syria, and Erdogan locked him up. Same thing happening over there. Critics fear the new law will be used to stifle opposition to the government ahead of August general election. So, in other words, they're clamping down on the internet there. Oh, yeah, that's another big one. Donald Trump is going to be meeting with Vladimir Putin very soon here. I think that they already have, because I think this is yesterday's article. Anyhow, there's more. Okay. Humanitarian crisis in Hollywood, chronic homelessness versus the American dream, if anybody actually believes in the American dream anymore, right? Because it's a big, huge, steaming pile of bullshit. Thousands of people in one of America's richest cities live on sidewalks interested in flesh-eating bacteria and tuberculosis. A Reddish media reporter looked at the chronic homelessness crisis in Los Angeles. And I have to say this much, because years ago, I mean like 2004 or so, I seen how bad it was. I had a hotel, because I was going to see the WrestleMania 21 event, and I seen how bad the poverty was there. This is back when I was doing okay. I was still middle class, a.k.a. the 99%, way before I found this truth. But, either way, though, it is terrible. It has 9 permanent restrooms for 1,777 people, or 1 every 197 homeless people, compared to the UN refugee camp, which is really a FEMA camp. Standards of 20 per person, So, again, we'll just, maybe we can try to play this clip here. Hold on a second.
We have the largest homeless population in the country.
LA City Council is expected to declare homelessness a local emergency today.
Homelessness is dropping in much of the country, but not in California.
Oh, and it's bad here in Redding.
People living on the streets and sidewalks in a 49 square block area and utilizing only 9 permanent restrooms, and 4 new temporary ones have been added. So let's be kind and say we have 13 total restrooms for 2,500 people. That's 180 restrooms shy of a minimum standard for a Syrian refugee camp.
You're in Hollywood, right? You're in LA. You're in the land of myth making, right? Through film. And when we talk about the American dream, the ultimate myth, right? It's often inextricably tied to the ownership of a home.
This is Los Angeles, home to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, the city perhaps most synonymous with the American dream. But this is also LA.
Yep, mostly us Jakes.
We walk by here at night. Every doorway there's a homeless person sleeping in it, all the way down the street.
The city of Los Angeles declared a state of emergency in September 2015 due to rising homelessness. Almost 60,000 people in the county are living without shelter. Many of them live in Skid Row in downtown LA, which has long been considered the center of homelessness in the city. Up to 1,000 people sleep at the Union Rescue Mission, which was set up in 1891, on any given night.
I actually contracted 3 flesh-eating diseases, E. coli, staph, and strep, from the sidewalks, and when I had a wound boot on, and I ended up, after 2 years in a wheelchair, I ended up losing my lower right leg. And that is the condition of the health on Skid Row because of the shortage of restrooms. It really is a crisis. Then we have a certain strain of TB found only in the world on Skid Row.
According to the Stop TB campaign, poverty fuels tuberculosis, a disease that passes from person to person and affects the lungs. They say a lack of basic health services, poor nutrition, and inadequate living conditions all contribute to the spread of TB. The situation on Skid Row and other areas was so desperate that in December 2017, the United Nations sent Special Rapporteur Philip Alston to examine conditions in the United States. His conclusions were shocking.
The way in which those in the bottom 20%...
And you know that these devils make it that way on purpose. So anyhow, I just thought I'd show you a little bit of that. As we look more at the trade wars here, Dow drops almost 460 points on news of China tariffs and Trump slamming Amazon. Oh yeah, because everybody wants to blame Amazon.com for everything, right? It wasn't Amazon.com. It's just they're purposely causing it to crash. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed 458 points down as Beijing slapped tariffs on U.S. imports in retaliation for U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs. And President Trump blasted online retail giant Amazon. So, more of this, as they're purposely crashing the dollar so that way they can introduce the new currency. Trains collide outside German city of Duisburg, casualties reported. So here's another Mossad false flag operations. 2 trains have collided in Duisburg, Meidach, Germany, according to a local transport company. At least 20 people were injured, 2 of them seriously, local media report. Okay, this one actually looks more like an accident, but, there is no accidents, right? Yeah, okay. It was just an accident, right? Like, they ain't purposely doing shit. We know how this so-called white man works. Unidentified Porton-Down scientists cannot confirm Novichok used on Skripals was made in Russia. Oh, so their science experts have proved that this whole thing against Russia is a hoax. UK scientists have been unable to prove Russia made the nerve agent A234, also known as Novichok, which was used to poison Sergei and Yuli Skripal in Salisbury. You see, what's happening is Russia and America are about to go to war, as well as the Beast, which the Beast is the UN, NATO, and, of course, the EU. All right, in other things which they are always trying to hide from this. Let's read from what's really going on in Syria. Civilians from eastern Ghouta, terrorists pillaged medical aid sent to Ghouta. Yeah, so the terrorists, that is the U.S.-backed terrorists. Syrian flag raised over Antama and Jimba after cleaning them of terrorists. Syrian Arab army enters a number of villages in Hama after locals expelled the terrorists. 8 buses carrying 448 terrorists and their family members exit Duma to be transported later to Jarblux. Syrian flag raised over Tama and Jubar after cleansing them of terrorists. So, Syria's cleaning up the terrorists, so that's another thing, is because they're trying to find for another reason there, right? To make you believe that the terrorist group ISIS still exists. So they can go back into Syria, but Russia's saying, no. So now they're trying to just deliberately attack Russia, with certain things. Syrian Arab army enters a number of villages in Hama after locals expelled terrorists. Okay, I already read that. Damascus countryside governorate. Citizens of Harasta will return to their city tomorrow. Damascus countryside, the general establishment for roads and bridges, started work on remodeling the rubble and debris from the international highway of Harasta and the mirror roads. So, pretty much Syria is being liberated from all the terrorists because, of course, Russia has been helping. All right, so get some scriptures here. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had such sorrow. So just like what we did back in the times of Egypt, when we said, let's make a golden calf, here's what happened here. Same people all over again. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and fortook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were so to do mischief. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of the two realms, which is talking about the northern and southern kingdom. So anyhow, that's how we went off, and that's how we ended up over here eventually. Saw it in Egypt spiritually, which is America, Babylon the Great. So I hope this has been edifying, and till the next time, Shalom.